for Japan Outpost. I'm Yuka House. Today I'm here in Lancashire. Why am I here? Let's find out. So, can I have your name please?
My name is Kirsty Thornton and I'm the designer and maker from Kikuya Kanzashi.
Oh! So does that mean these beautiful kanzashi you made?
Yeah, this is all my work. I've been making kanzashi for about 4 years.
4
now.
years? Oh. So how did you start? Why did you start it?
Yeah, I've always been really interested in Japanese culture, in particular geisha culture. It's something that I've studied quite a lot. So I wanted to make something for myself that I would be able to wear in my hair that was representative of what the geisha would wear in their hair. So I started very small, folding, trying again and again and again to get something that I could wear. And it's just gone on from there. So the first thing that I made, I was very, very proud of it at the time, but I look back now and I'm very embarrassed.
Is that self-taught then?
Yeah.
Self-taught?
Yeah.
So you didn't get any book or anything?
No, I started looking at pictures online. I created an image bank of different designs that I really liked and started to practice different types of folds. So it's a similar technique to origami, but with fabric instead. So lots and lots of trial and error.
Really? Incredible. I thought Alicia you learned from a book or something, but you didn't.
No,
you just look at the photo and
when
you
I
try
first
to
started making kanzashi, there wasn't many resources available. So it was kind of trying to look at something and think, how did they make that? How can I try to make the same thing? So I think now there's lots more online tutorials, lots of things on YouTube, that sort of thing, some more books and things like that. So since I've been learning and developing, I now have some books that I bought in Japan that I can see different techniques that people use, and I try to always learn more and develop.
So you said you are making all this and then it's basically self-taught.
Yes.
How did you manage to make this?
This particular kanzashi here is a replica piece of what a maiko, an apprentice geisha, would wear in the month of October. Geisha kanzashi change month by month to reflect different seasonal flowers. So this one is a chrysanthemum that would be worn in October. So with this one I have an image bank that I keep with different photos that I see. And I saw a picture of a maiko wearing a chrysanthemum kanzashi, and I tried to replicate that by making a similar piece, but with more modern technique, I guess.
So when you started to create this, you didn't have any book or anything, and then you just did on your own?
Yeah, so like I said, it's a lot of trial and error, and it's spending the time to try new techniques, see what's going to work best. Some things don't work and you start again and try again, and then eventually I found, develop my own techniques that I find work for me as an artist. So this particular piece, I think there's probably approximately 160 individual petals that make up this particular kanzashi. So it's been made, each petal starts with a 1-inch square of fabric, which is then folded and attached to a base to form the flower shape. And then it's the various embellishments as well that I use, the comb and the gold centre that help to make it a finished piece.
But it's quite amazing. So you learned how to do it just by looking at the image of it and then doing by trial error.
Yeah.
That is quite amazing. I saw you started from learning a book, first. That's quite amazing. In fact, you've got lots of these beautiful fabric too. Do you get them in Japan?
Yeah, so all of the fabric here I bought in Japan, in the textile district of Tokyo. So last time we went to Japan, we filled a suitcase with as much fabric as we could.
Really? Where do you mean by textile?
In Nippori. in
Nippori,
Tokyo.
I see.
Yeah, so there's lots and lots of fabric shops in
Ah,
Nippori. So we bought lots of beautiful Japanese fabric back with us. So these ones are cottons, but I also have chirimen fabric and silk fabric as well. So I do make kanzashi with Japanese fabric, but also I do use English cottons as well, because I do quite modern kanzashi. So if I'm not doing a replica piece, you know, I might design something that's a bit more my own design, and I can use either Japanese or English fabric as well. So I'm going to demonstrate how to make a very simple kanzashi made using needle and thread rather than the traditional rice glue. So this is something that everybody can make as their very first kanzashi. So it's a round petal shape made of 5 pieces of fabric. So I've already starched and cut the fabric to 2-inch squares, so that's the size that I'm going to use to make this particular kanzashi. So it's really important, I think, to starch the fabric first, because it gives it a nice crisp feel to it, and it helps to hold the shape more. When you've finished your kanzashi, it will stay nice and crisp. So what I'm going to do first is fold the fabric in half, and then I fold the sides in together, turn the fabric over, and what I'm doing is going to bring these 2 corners into the middle, so folding in each side like this, and then what I'm going to do is fold it over on itself to form the shape of the petal. So for this particular kanzashi, like I said, I'm going to use a needle and thread to form the kanzashi. So what you want to do is put your needle through the fabric so that you're gathering those corners that you made, so that everything stays nice and secure together. And then you need to make sure you trim the excess fabric from your kanzashi so that it's all nice and neat. So you're just going to cut below your needle here and move those to the side. So that's your first petal. Okay, so I'm going to make 4 more petals, and I'll do those a bit quicker so that you can see the finished result. So you can also choose what you think is going to be the nicest part of the fabric. Each time you make a kanzashi with fabric that's patterned like this, they'll be slightly different because of the different pattern on the fabric. So it's quite nice to be able to look at it and think what that's going to look like when you have finished the kanzashi. Okay, so threading the needle through again, and you want to make sure that they're very similar size as well, so that everything's nice and neat and looks pretty when you've finished. So trimming the excess fabric. There's lots of different ways to make kanzashi petals. You can fold these on tweezers as well, so if you're working with silk or chirimen fabric, then it's nice to do it on tweezers so that you're not damaging the fabric with the oils from your hand, and you can get a nice crisp line with the tweezers as well. I like to use these tweezers that I bought in Japan. They give a really nice firm grip, and you can use them for doing lots of delicate work because they're so long and thin. Okay, nearly there. Obviously you can take your time with this. I'm just very familiar with this process, so I can do it quite quickly. And the last petal. Okay, so once you have all 5 petals on your string, you want to gather them together so that they're all nice and neat. And I'm going to then cut here, and I'm going to make this side a little shorter as well so it's easier. Okay, so to make the flower shape, what I'm going to do is tie a simple knot that then brings the petals together. So as you see, as I've pulled the thread, it's starting to form the shape of the flower. So once you've got the right shape, you might need to rearrange this a little bit, tie your knot a little bit differently, but once you think that's going to come together nicely, you can then tie a knot to secure that in place. And what I will do then is just tie another couple of knots so that everything's nice and secure and it's not going to come undone. So once you've done that, if you trim the excess thread here, just be careful not to cut through your knot, and then you're going to actually form the shape of your flower. So at the moment you can see it doesn't look that great. So what you're going to do is you're going to press down lightly on the tips of the petals to form the round shape. So I'm pushing in the middle and I'm pressing lightly at the top, and I'm shaping the flower with my fingers. So all the way around. Okay. And then once that's done, just go around, look that you're happy with the shape, and you can also see which side looks the best in terms of where your pattern is, and that is a completed flower. So what you then would like to do is you can choose all sorts of different embellishments to go in the middle of your flower. So here, for example, there's just a simple pearl that I've put in the middle. You can use diamante, people use buttons, thread, anything you want, flower stamens, anything that you think will look nice to decorate the flower. So you can add your embellishments. What I would also do is finish off the back of the flower here and make it nice and neat by adding some more fabric that covers those raw edges and makes the flower look neat and tidy. And then you can either add a clip directly to the back of the flower, like this one has here, or you can use a long pin or a comb, whatever you want really to finish your kanzashi, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to fold 2 different types of petal now. So first I'm going to fold this pleated style of petal that I used to make this kanzashi design. And then secondly I'm going to fold this open style of petal that I used to make this design. Okay, so this is this style of petal. I'll just pop that on a pin to use later. And now the other style. Okay, and this is this style of petal. Right, so I'm going to make the second style of petal. Okay, and then to form the shape, I'll just press slightly, and that gives that the open petal shape.
I think toward the future, into the future, you think you keep on doing this for a long time to come?
Yeah, I certainly would hope so. Like I said, I'm still learning every day, and I'm still aspiring to make beautiful designs such as I see Japanese artists making. For me, Kanzashi is a way for me to travel in Japan. So the money that I make from selling the Kanzashi I keep completely separate and use to go to Japan every, 2 years or so, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. So for me, the hours that I spend making Kanzashi are worth it when I get to spend time in Japan, which is a place I love to visit. So that's what keeps me going.
I understand. I see. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank
Kirsty.
you. Thank you.